A 7-0 record in the SEC. Auburn with a 3-4 mark. And as you just mentioned, both teams with those SEC wins over LSU. The South Carolina team will be without Chloe Kitts tonight. A little under the weather, so Ashlyn Watkins into the starting lineup for the Gamecocks.
See right away, man-to-man defense here for South Carolina. They want to pressure the guards around the perimeter.
It's Auburn with the ball first, and it's an opening possession shot from Honesty Scott-Grayson. That won't go, and it's Watkins who grabs the rebound looking to push. Here's a look at that first five for South Carolina. Pow, Hall, Johnson, Watkins, and there's Cardoso who lays it in. Just immediately, the offense has to run through her. It's an inside-out offense. She gets a touch on the first possession of the ballgame and capitalizes. Scott-Grayson at the top, down low. Savannah Scott lays it up and in. Auburn, their freshman post player, with her first 2 points of the night. Set play, pick and roll on the second offensive possession. The first time it goes through the Auburn post, they get a bucket. Missed three-point jumper for Pow back inside to Cardoso, out to Johnson for the three, and it's Mingo Run with the rebound. Auburn will look to push. You got to pick your spots when you push and run against this South Carolina team. First five for the Tigers. Mingo Young, Duhan, Scott-Grayson, Taylon Collins with the basketball now. And we saw Savannah Scott score a moment ago. There's Honesty Scott-Grayson on the drive. Errant pass, and that's a turnover. And if you're an Auburn basketball team here tonight, you want to make sure you take care of the basketball. South Carolina absolutely will make you regret it if you turn it over. Yeah, Carolina forces 16 turnovers a game. Watkins on the inside, lays it up and in. Very early on, intentional with the offense. That's two post touches. No options there as Mingo Young pulls back. She'll fire the three, and that one won't go. Transition opportunity. Instead, South Carolina wants to slow it down. Good defense there from Taylon Collins, but saves it back in play to South Carolina. And Ashlyn Watkins has her second field goal. And already you're seeing South Carolina averages 16 second chance points a ball game. Gamecocks already have 5 offensive rebounds tonight. Got to find a way to keep this South Carolina team off the glass if you're Auburn. Auburn looking to continue to attack. Honesty Scott-Grayson shoots 77% from the free throw line this season. She's got a pair coming up here. Second free throw up, and that one won't fall either. Battle for the rebound. Last touched, I think, by Ashlyn Watkins, and they will give possession to Auburn. Yeah. This Auburn team does not care what your record is. They do not care how big you are. Auburn is not afraid to be physical, especially in this building, too. They play with a little more confidence. Celia Sambani and Owen Akinbalawa are the first two Tigers in for Auburn. And how about the bounce? Friendly roll for Honesty Scott-Grayson on the pull-up. It's one of those you only get in your home gym, I think. Spin around there from Cardoso. So Kamilla Cardoso will go to the free throw line. 70% free throw shooter. Started her career at Syracuse before transferring over to the Gamecocks. 6th woman of the year season ago. Blocked 9 shots her first year at Syracuse against Notre Dame. Just a force. Mingo Young controls it out top. Got an open look for Scott-Grayson, but we're going to have an offensive foul. So for Auburn tonight, Honesty Scott-Grayson and others have to look to create their shots a little more against Dawn Staley's defense. And Auburn had gone to the bench for Owen Akinbalawa to spell Savannah Scott, but Akinbalawa picked up 2 quick fouls. So Scott back in. There's a floater for Raven Johnson. She's on the scoreboard. She is so slippery and finishes well near the bucket. She can get in between defenders with ease. Lightning fast for the Atlanta native. Sambane thought about it from 3. She'll give to Taylon Collins. The jumper's pure. On her birthday, Collins knocks down the first shot. They run the set, a back screen. She pops up open on the left elbow and knocks it down. Watkins gives back to Pow. Soft touch underneath as Fagan leads it late. Gamecocks by 5. Mingo Young on the drive. She'll pull up. It's good.
She can do that.
Pow hounded by Scott-Grayson. She'll take the handoff, but misfire once again. And Auburn's got the rebound. We'll see if they look to push. Taylon Collins leaps up to hold on to it. Defended by Watkins and blocked by Ashlyn Watkins.
Yep, there you go. There you see the shot blocking presence. So much length for South Carolina.
Strong take, strong drive.
South Carolina's protected the ball well here early, JJ. Just one turnover in this first quarter.
From Columbia, playing for her hometown school. Bostic controls it up top. Sydney Shaw's got the ball for Auburn. Simbane looking to set a screen. Shot clock dwindling down. Bostic with the shot attempt, and she was fouled.
That's going to get the whistle every time.
That is the first South Carolina, as Bostic gets the first free throw to go. 2 for 2 at the line. Thurman into the contest here for Auburn. Freshman 6'5" center.
Size 6'5" to go against the 6'7" Cardoso.
And a steal here for Auburn. Bostic fighting for it. Simbane comes up with it. Over to Mingo Young. Down low to Thurman. Open layup, and it's good.
Well, that's a veteran pass from Mingo Young in transition to look for Thurman to capitalize on the turnover.
Aggressive defense out on the perimeter by Simbane. Cardoso staring her down quite literally and able to sneak the pass by her. Open look, Fulwiley airballed it. And it's going to be Auburn basketball.
Upping South Carolina just a little bit. Auburn is being physical in the post, and they're getting right up on the guards. Now, it was risky to allow Fulwiley that wide open look from 3, but she wasn't able to hit it that time.
Aggressive defense here from Fulwiley. A steal of Bostic. She lays it up, but it's no good. Auburn can hold for the last possession of the first quarter. Boy, Fulwiley wants that one back.
Sure. No, the opportunity was there. A little frustrated again. She's a little sped up.
12 seconds left in the opening quarter. It's South Carolina by a point. Thurman blocked by Cardoso. Fulwiley's got it. Full court shot comes up short. Fun first quarter.
Johnny Harris instilling the culture and the grit, and you've seen some improvement year after year as well. The season before, Coach Harris got here just 5 wins, as you see there on the left side of your screen. 10 wins in year 1, and already 14 this season, and they are hoping for more as conference play plays out.
Dawn Staley leading her bunch, looking to fight back after a back-and-forth opening quarter. There's an offensive foul and a legal screen called against Ashlyn Watkins.
Dawn Staley really getting animated with her bunch. This is the quarter that's been a turning point for South Carolina this year. They're plus 11 on average in the second quarter.
Bostic on the drive, misfired on the layup. And all the way down to the other end, an open look for Raven Johnson, but she missed. Last touch by Bostic. Here offensively, the Gamecocks have yet to make a 3-point field goal in tonight's game. Bree Hall thought Raven Johnson was in the corner, but nobody was there. Can Auburn take advantage of the opportunities on the offensive end of the floor? A jumper for Thurman, no good. And it's a rebound for Cardoso.
That's the kind of look, though, that is okay. The ball on the elbow and a wide open look for Thurman.
Pow. First free throw good for Pow.
She's an excellent free throw shooter. Opportunities to build that tournament resume. They went to the WNIT last year. The next step would be getting to the NCAA tournament.
We went to break under review. The officials were looking at a possible timing error, but confirmed that it was Auburn basketball. There's a great lay-in. Here's Raven Johnson on the drive. and she stepped out of bounds. That's a turnover for South Carolina.
Try to move these South Carolina defenders out of position just a little more quickly.
Scott-Grayson takes a shot, and she's fouled. Remarkable player here for the Auburn Tigers as Scott-Grayson gets her first in an SEC play this season. She's just continued to score. And Auburn's got the lead.
Now watch Carolina here. See if they go immediately to Cardoso. She's up high. Yeah.
On the drive, Watkins with another offensive rebound and putback. She'll kick to the corner. Scott-Grayson for three. No good. Taylon Collins grabs the rebound. And Auburn's got another possession.
Auburn will reset. The full reset of the offense.
Sydney Shaw turns it over.
Heightened level of intensity.
8th turnover of the game for Auburn. 5 turnovers for South Carolina.
Carolina clears out the lane.
Left-handed drive for Ashlyn Watkins, and she was fouled.
Has made the most of it.
First free throw good for Watkins. Tomorrow, our doubleheader will start in Athens with the number 21 Georgia Gym Dogs. Friday Night Heights each week, right here on the SEC Network and ESPN app.
Well, the number 1 team in the country is +3 at the free throw line, and they lead, well, now by just 1.
As Scott-Grayson gets the lay-in. Auburn cuts that deficit to 1. Fulwiley behind the back. Wow! The freshman. It's a Sydney Shaw 3. No good. And it'll be South Carolina basketball.
And both of these teams could use a break. What a play this is. Behind the back and the finish, the floater. My word.
You don't see that often. What a play, what a drive. MiLaysia Fulwiley, just a freshman. South Carolina by 3, and it's a turnover. Crossover from Bostic, and she was fouled.
It's a short rest for Watkins, wasn't it? And Sakima Walker in for her first action of the game.
Scott-Grayson gets a look. She nails it. Auburn's back within 1.
One of those games for Honesty Scott-Grayson already in double figures.
Just over 3 minutes to play in the first half. Raven Johnson won't get it to go. Walker grabs the rebound. We've got a jump ball, and South Carolina will hold on to it.
Double screen set by Collins and Scott. And Hall just couldn't chase her all the way around.
There's Fulwiley who gets the layup to go. How about it? And a turnover here for Auburn. Scott-Grayson jumped up in the air and didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, they had nowhere to go with it after that. Fulwiley again with a strong finish with the right hand.
Offensive foul.
South Carolina has not led this game by more than 2 possessions yet, have they?
No. Competitive back and forth game, and that changes on the lay-in from Raven Johnson.
Yep, the Atlanta native, one of a number of scoring options on this team. Again, remember, they have 5 scoring in double figures in conference play. And she was able to get too close to the rim there and finish.
Taylon Collins pull up. No good. It's a rebound for Savannah Scott, who puts it back up and in.
Offensive rebounds. That is just Auburn's 5th offensive rebound, but a second chance opportunity.
Fulwiley misfires on the 3. Offensive board there for Watkins. She can't get it to go. And Sydney Shaw will look to run for Auburn. Now it's Bostic. Bostic to Collins. And Collins' shot was blocked by Johnson. Honesty Scott-Grayson will pull up. It won't go, and it's a rebound for South Carolina.
No push.
About 4 seconds separate the game clock and shot clock. And Dawn Staley wants a timeout. Pow, Johnson, Watkins Walker and Hall, the 5 on the floor for the Gamecocks.
Look for the ball to go to Watkins.
Bostic nearly tipped it away. Johnson's fall away is no good. Here's Hall on a pull-up, and it's rebounded by Scott-Grayson. She'll give to Bostic. Bostic wants to run. Layup won't go. And it's last touch by Taylor Collins. A chance to end the half for South Carolina by going up 3 possessions. They've got a 5-point lead with 5 seconds to go. It's turned over. Bostic up ahead to Scott-Grayson. She's got to shoot it. And it's no good for Auburn. Oh, just trying to pick up your first win over the #1 team in the land. First win since the 1990 Final Four.
Auburn as a program went 3 straight years to the Final Four. 88, 89, and 90. South Carolina, of course, has gone the last 3 years to the Final Four.
Opening possession here for Auburn in the second half is a fall away from Honesty Scott-Grayson, left short.
I think she anticipated contact coming out toward her, and instead Carolina backed off, and the shot was short. Auburn opens up in that man-to-man.
Raven Johnson gives down low to Cardoso, and misfires there. A rebound for Mingo Young.
Well, the offense did run through the post, but Cardoso couldn't finish.
Strong drive here from Mingo Young, but can't connect. And it's the Gamecocks looking to run the other way. 3-pointer in the corner. Yeah, that one will go.
Yep. This team wasn't going to stay over from long range. And Raven Johnson, who's a 52% field goal shooter overall, was wide open in the corner. South Carolina missed about 4 absolutely wide open triples in the first half.
We'll see if that 3-point line begins to create some separation for South Carolina. A quiet first half for Caitlin Duhon.
Yeah, she's going to give you a little more defensively than offensively anyway, and they didn't look to go through her offensively in the first half.
Just 1 of 9 from 3-point range and 29% shooting. Cardoso. Mingo Young controls it up top. She'll kick to the corner. Shot clock winding down. Scott-Grayson's got a fire, nearly rolled in. But South Carolina runs the other way. And just too much size on the inside.
And positioning there. Cardoso was able to get position. And out of that, we'll see what they do out of the offensive set. There's one pass to Scott-Grayson.
They'll take the first 3.
Now both have one of the early stages of the third quarter.
And here's a steal. Honesty Scott-Grayson looks to run. Watkins trailing, but Scott-Grayson get the crowd back into it a little bit. On the inside, here's Cardoso. Akingbalawa defending, and
there's not a lot of answer for Cardoso when she gets that close to the basket.
Scott-Grayson on the drive again. She'll throw it up and is fouled. It's 2 of 4 from the line in tonight's game. It's her third make.
Really doing it all offensively.
And has played the whole game.
Has played the whole game, yeah. And at some point, you wonder, can the Tigers afford to give her a little bit of a rest that's not a timeout?
Fulwiley on the drive. Gets the bucket.
For Fulwiley.
She gets the free throw to fall as well.
Carolina team relatively new. A lot of new players on the roster playing bigger roles. And there was some talk that maybe there'd be a little bit of a fall off this year. That's not the case.
A pull-up for Scott-Grayson is short. Honesty Scott-Grayson being out there for every single minute for this Auburn team. A little short on the jump shot there.
When fatigue sets in, that's an indicator. Shots get short.
And 1 for Ashlyn Watkins. Missed free throw, and Thurman controls it. Bostic with 5 on the shot clock. She'll drive. Watkins got a hand on it. And it's last touch by Auburn. 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Ashlyn Watkins is fouled.
It's going to be tough for anybody to handle. Sure, she has a very quiet 10 points and 4 rebounds, but as the focus has been on her, Watkins has been able to...
15-point lead now for South Carolina, and head coach Dawn Staley has been coaching the entire time, as animated as she's been all game.
Sambani's first field goal attempt of the game. They gave it to her on the elbow. Again, the defense sagging a little more. Wow, the acceleration in the finish enters the second half, but certainly for the future.
Fulwiley called a generational player by her head coach, Dawn Staley. I mean, high praise. Big block there from Sambani. And Cardoso just holds it up higher than anyone can reach.
They have an easy reset here for the Gamecocks. See how patient they want to be under 2 minutes in the quarter. Right into Cardoso.
Couple of hands on the ball, but Bostic on the pull-up. Collins saves it. Scott-Grayson floater is good.
Volume shooter when she has to be, and she's had to be tonight.
Less than a second separates the shot and game clock. Cardoso with a touch, and Bostic came up from behind, knocked it away, up ahead. Scott-Grayson lays it up and in.
It's excellent help defense by Bostic and the vision to get the pass ahead to Scott-Grayson.
Auburn ends the third quarter on a quick 4-0 run.
South Carolina offense, that left hook from Carolina is their pretty good defensive team as well, and that has been the case tonight. It's about right for the kind of game that we could expect coming into this game. Low scoring, physical.
Cardoso on a post-up. Tessa Johnson drive, but she took too many steps. Scott-Grayson has been featured a ton tonight. I doubt that changes here in the fourth quarter.
Well, they got the look for Sambani over on the right wing, and not a bad look for a 3 early in the possession. A lot of the focus defensively was on the other side of the court and Scott-Grayson. And Scott-Grayson with 19 of Auburn's 47 shot attempts. And on the other side, it's Watkins again.
Sambani, a 3-point shot. No good, but it's an offensive rebound for Taylor Collins for just a moment, and Ashlyn Watkins took it away.
Just ripped it right away. Playing in the zone, she was not boxed out and was free to go grab it.
Cardoso with the offensive rebound. And a post-up. Turnaround, and she's fouled by Savannah Scott.
Cardoso's shots have not been falling tonight. She's only 5 of 11 from the floor, but she's earned now several trips to the foul line.
Saturday, we have another college basketball quadruple header for you right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. That tips off at 1 Eastern, noon Central. But we're featuring this game at 6 Eastern. Janai Broome and number 16 Auburn take on Ole Miss at the always crazy Pavilion in Oxford. What a shot from Scott-Grayson.
Over Cardoso, pure scorer.
The touch on that shot, super impressive.
That game's going to be wild in Oxford Saturday, by the way.
No kidding.
There it is. Pow, pow.
Bostic's got to put something up, and it's swatted by Watkins. Wow.
And then on the other end, Watkins knew Bostic had to put it up. That was not a drive and dish situation. And now Auburn hit with an illegal screen. Thurman.
Brad, how about this just full line when you look at that box score for Ashlyn Watkins? Everything she's been able to do tonight.
5 of 6 scoring, 4 of 5 at the foul line, 15 rebounds, 5 blocks, 3 steals to go with 14 points.
Tessa Johnson 3 is good. It's now the largest lead of the game for South Carolina. They're up by 20.
Already set a career high in rebounding, 2 away from tying the career high in points. She is 1 away from her career high in blocked shots in a game as well. 1 away from her career high in steals also.
Just a terrific game tonight for Ashlyn Watkins.
Yep.
And Tessa Johnson was just fouled on a three-point shot.
Missed one shot from the floor and one free throw. Those are the only misses tonight. A lot of hustle for Watkins, who, again, was pressed into the starting role when Chloe Kitts was ruled out. Kitts had started every game before tonight. She's a little under the weather. And when you can plug in a brand new starter like this, you're a handful. And we knew that about South Carolina coming in. I think you give a lot of credit to Auburn for the toughness.
Scott-Grayson able to score there for Auburn. I was about to say you have to figure fatigue sets in. She's got the basketball now on the pass to Fagan, who will drive. Somebody with an open look again, but doesn't shoot.
So you got to take that shot.
Here's Scott-Grayson on the drive, through contact, but has a chance to add to her numbers with two more free throws.
But this will be her 8th free throw attempt. It is the 3rd straight game in which she's had 8 free throw attempts in a ball game. And this wraps up a 3-game homestand for Auburn.
Strong drive, put back up and in by Walker.
Easy offensive rebound. 17th offensive rebound for South Carolina in the game.
Mingo Young's got it. A kick to Thurman, and Fulwiley just snatched it out of the air. Left-handed layup is good.
Well, South Carolina, clear number 1, and I think all across the country you watch this Carolina team and you say they're the best team in the country. They will have 3 straight home games. Ole Miss,
Sydney
Missouri,
Shaw, three-pointer.
Ole Miss, Missouri, and then a non-conference game against UConn on Super Bowl Sunday.
What a treat that is for basketball fans. Non-conference game at Colonial Life Arena. That'll be a good one.
Walker with back-to-back offensive rebounds and putbacks. And the offense the last couple of times down the floor has been drive and put it up and let somebody else clean it up.
There's a Scott-Grayson drive, and she was fouled.
We asked Coach Staley earlier today, when your goals are as lofty as the Carolina goals are, it's their goal to win a national championship. How do you continue to show up and be motivated for every single step along the way? And with a newer team, do you have to do more of that as the coach? Or if the players taken on that, and you know, within the culture of the program, you let the players challenge themselves. And she went back to the off-season conditioning. They pushed them so hard in the off-season conditioning that, you know, by the time you got to the season, everybody was willing to embrace their role and to show up every practice and every game. And you're seeing it here. They've just worn teams down all season long.
And we can really tell that's the case here in the second half. Mingo Young draws the foul. You were talking before the game gets going about that scoring margin for South Carolina. Nearly 36 points.
Yeah.
A win for this Gamecocks team.
They've only played 2 games this year that were decided by single digits. They beat North Carolina by 7 back in November. And then, of course, the win over LSU. It is historic. And now both teams want to just finish strong. You want to finish well. You want to stay disciplined, be in the spots.
Big block for Scott-Grayson on the denial. Honesty will run. Reverse layup is good for Honesty Scott-Grayson.
Boy, JJ, you talk about finishing well. The block on one end and the finish on the other end.
31 tonight for Honesty Scott-Grayson.
Wow.
Jaw makes the three-point shot there for the Gamecocks.
Jaw gets in on the fun as well for South Carolina. That is their 4th made 3 of the second half. And now Honesty Scott-Grayson will come out of the ballgame. In one of the earlier conference games.
Bostic will drive here, and she's fouled.
Much more likely to drive in and look for contact around the bucket. That's a tired team. with the remaining schedule that they have to build an NCAA tournament resume.
1 minute remaining.
1 minute remaining. And South Carolina is looking pretty strong as Sydney Shaw makes her second three-point shot of the game. Tessa Johnson a layup on the other end.
Absolutely. Quickly back to, again, finish well. Continue to do the things you're supposed to do. And
the whole game.
The whole game, absolutely. Why play if you're not going to play full speed?
Eddings open in the corner. Too strong.
Let's see. They may take the air out on this possession. Maybe. I don't know. There's still a full 9 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock.
Raven Johnson controls it up top. She's got 9 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Pretty complete game for the Gamecocks point guard.
It is February, JJ. As we said earlier, it's March Eve. Things are starting to heat up across the SEC and across the country. We're going to be talking about tournament bids and positioning and things like that throughout the month. Coming up on just the best time of year for basketball fans.
With that free throw, Raven Johnson is into double figures. And that's the 5th Gamecock today.
Yep. They average 5 in double figures in league play. They got 5 in double figures tonight.
Competitive first half, and then South Carolina turned it on in the second half as the Gamecocks opened the season 20-0. 39 consecutive SEC wins for the South Carolina Gamecocks.